Okay, so could you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let's continue the next class. Next class is about the methods of projection of formulae. So here we are going to discuss what is Fisher projection formulae, what is Newman projection formulae, what is Sahar's projection formulae, and similarly what is flying wedge projection formulae. And also we are also discussing about the interconversion, how a Fisher can be converted into Newman, Newman can be converted into Sahars. So those things also we will discuss today's class with examples. So with this, and here Fisher projection formula means more particularly a most oxidized part will be on the top of the molecule. That you need to remember. And Fisher projection formula used for mostly the representation of the carbohydrates, chiral compounds. Newman and Sahar's projection formula, it's related to the conformational, more particularly eclipsed one and staggered one. Okay, those things can be represented by using Newman and Sahar's projection formula. Fly-edged representation is important. A three-dimensional view. Three-dimensional view means the towards the observer, away from the observer, above the flame, below the flame. Those things we will discuss under fly-edged fly-edged representation of chiral molecule. Anyway, we will discuss one by one. So with this, I will move to the next slide. So here I am representing, I have to take a pointer. I will take a pointer. Okay. So you can observe that this is a Fisher projection formula. So you can observe that this is the most oxidized form and it is kept on the top. And one more thing, here two chiral compounds are there. And if you are looking into the name of this compound, it's called D-triose. Okay, so since it is a tetrosis moiety, okay, hydroxy group are on the opposite side. So because of this, it's called triose. And right. So overall, what I mean to say that Fisher projection formula, it is used for representing the carbohydrate chiral compounds. And in this, a most oxidized part will be on the occupies the top position that we need to mention. Okay. And if we are looking into the Newman projection formula, so here you can observe that one is circle, another one is this point. So this point represents the front carbon atom and the circle represents the second carbon atom. And here I am taking the example of ethane. Okay, CH3, CH3. So 1, 2, 3. This is called CH3, and the circle one is the another carbon. This will be the another carbon, to totally two carbon atom. And you can also observe that exactly backside of this H, one more H is there. That is the reason it's called eclipse. That means you can only see the front carbon and then substituent, not the back one, because of the eclipsed form. And one more thing, because of the eclipse, there will be interaction between this H and this H. So that it indicates that there will be a steel hindrance in the eclipse form because of the close association. That is the reason there will be a strain. Okay. So because of the strain, eclipse form is unstable. So then what will happen? There will be a rotation. Okay. So how it will be rotating? Maybe a 180-degree rotation. That means this H can come over here, this H will go over here, this H will go over there. Then the staggered form is obtained. And here you can observe that there is a difference. Okay, there is a difference between this hydrogen and this hydrogen. That means because of this, there will be a less steric influence. So because of that, staggered form will be the more stable compared to the eclipsed form. Eclipsed form is the unstable because of the interaction. Okay, these two interaction or repulsion. Okay, that is the reason this one will be the unstable form. So overall, in the Newman projection formula, one dot is represent the front carbon, circle is represent the another carbon. Okay, that we need to remember. Okay, and we need to remember about the eclipse form and the staggered form. And we have to say that the staggered form, there will be less interaction between the two atoms, adjacent atoms. That is the reason staggered form is more stable compared to the eclipsed one. That this information you need to aware about the Newman projection formula. And here I am taking the ethane as the example. You can also take another example. Maybe we will discuss more in a later stage. So with this, I will go to the next slide. One minute. One minute. I think it's a struck. Okay, the slide is not moving. I will come back. Okay, now it's moving, right? So that means I have to remove the cursor and then move the slide. Okay, now I will take a pointer. Okay, so this kind of representation, okay, it's called Sawhorse projection formula. Okay, so what you can observe, this is also here I am taking the example of ethane, and you need to found, you see if we are looking from this side, you can observe that this CH is eclipsed, okay, with this carbon CH. That means this CH is exactly the backside of this CH. So that is the reason this H is eclipsed. Similarly, this H and this H, you cannot see this H. Similarly, this H also you cannot see when you are looking from here. So when you are looking from here, this will be the brent carbon, and these are the attached hydrogens. So that means you can see only these three, but you cannot see this carbon as well as these three H. So that is the reason this representation is the eclipsed form. Okay, and when you are rotating 180 degree, only this carbon, that means this H will come over here, this H will go to here, this H will go to that position when you are rotating 180 degree. So that's what I am written here. So now you can observe that all the hydrogen, and this will be the staggered form. And here there is this eclipsing is not there. Okay, you can observe that this is the H, here nothing is there. So that is the reason here the distance between this hydrogen as well as this hydrogen is more, and this form is the staggered form, and this will be the stable form, and this form is the eclipse form, and this will be the having strain because of the repulsion of this hydrogen and this hydrogen, this hydrogen and this hydrogen, this hydrogen and this hydrogen. So that is the because of steric hindrance, this is less stable. Because of less steric hindrance, this is more stable. That's what we can say about Sahar's projection formula. And this Sahar's projection formula, when you are looking into, suppose if you are writing a staggered form of any chiral molecule, one chiral containing two, more particularly two carbon, two chiral containing compounds you can take, and you can write the eclipse form, and also you can write the staggered form also. And one more thing, from these two, you should remember that staggered form is the more stable one, because eclipsed form will have a repulsion of atoms, neighboring atoms or groups. And so this is one more moiety I'm taking. And in this, it's called a chain form of cyclohexane. And here what I'm showing, this position is called axial position, and this position is called equatorial position. And I think you are aware that if a bulky groups, okay, bulky groups are occupies the equatorial position, such conformation or compounds are stable compared to the bulky groups present in the axial position. So that's what I need to mention, because these are all conformation. These two are conformation. This is also a conformation. We will discuss more about conformational analysis in a later stage under the stereochemistry. So with this, I will go to the next slide. Next slide is about the flying wedge structure. Flying wedge means you can observe that this is the wedge moiety. Okay, this representation is called wedge. And here, what you can observe that here I am written as a D. D may be any electronegative group. Okay, that means this is the wedge representation, and wedge means towards the observer. And towards the observer should occupy the electronegative group. Electronegative means oxygen, okay, bromine, chlorine, something like that. Electronegative groups can occupy the wedge one. And here the broken line bond is called C, and this group is the least priority group. Least priority means I think here the A, B, C, D is there. No, from that the least priority group should be the C, and from out of four, the electronegative group should be the D, and A and B should be any group. And here, what you need to remember that the wedge bond is towards the observer, and the broken line bond is away from the observer, and these two are on the plane. These two are on the plane. The fly edge structure is nothing but a three-dimensional structure of chiral compound. That's what you need to remember. So with this, I will go to the next slide. So next slide will give you the information about how one can convert a Fisher projection formula into Newman, Fisher projection formula into Sahars. Fisher and then fly wedged projection formula into Newman, Fisher, how the interconversion we will talk about from now onwards. So I will go to the next slide. So this is about the interconversion of projection and perspective formulae. So here you can observe that this also you can say that conversion of Fisher projection formulae to Newman, Sahars and vice versa. See here I am taking the example of I think this is a tetrose and the hydroxy groups are on the same side. So that is the reason we can call it as a D-erythrose. D-erythrotetrose. Okay. And if you want to convert this into a Sahars, again Sahars means two kind. One is eclipsed form, another one is staggered form. So here I am writing the eclipsed one I am taking. You can observe that. So this CH2OH is this OH is this, and this H is this. Okay, so you can observe that CH2OH is this, OH is this, H is this. So similarly, this CHO should be this OH is this, and H is this. Okay, this is the eclipsed form, and you can observe that when you are observing from here, you cannot see these three groups because eclipse, and there will be a repulsion between this bulky group as well as this bulky group. There will be a repulsion between this bulky group and then this bulky group. There will be a repulsion between this hydrogen and this hydrogen. So because of this is unstable one. This try to move towards the staggered one. How it will move? By the rotation of 180-degree rotation. And 180-degree rotation, it's only with respect to this moiety, not the other carbon atom. That means this OH will come down, okay, and CH2OH will go up. Okay, that means CH2OH will go up, these two group will come down. So that's what I have written here. So that means if we are converting a eclipsed form into staggered form, only the front carbon atom changes, not the back carbon atom. That is the thing you need to remember. And these two forms are Sahars form. And this can be converted into this at 180-degree rotation. Okay, if you can also look into that. So these two will be the enantiomers only. Okay, if we are if there is a chiral, of course this is a chiral carbon atom, or this is also a chiral carbon atom. So these two staggered form and eclipsed form is nothing but a enantiomers only. Then how you can convert a Fisher projection formula into Newman projection formula. And Newman projection formula means this is the front carbon atom, and the circle will be the second carbon atom. And here, so you can take this carbon atom as the front carbon atom, and CHOH is the CH2OH. This CH2OH is the this one. OH will be the this one. Hydrogen will be the this one. Okay. So what you can say, you can view it from this side. So this will be the down, this will be the right hand side, this will be the left hand side. Similarly, when you are writing the second carbon atom, this CHO will be the down and OH will be here and H will be here. Overall, this will be the eclipsed form. And here you can observe that in the eclipsed form, you can observe that there should be a repulsion between this bulky as well as this bulky, this hydrogen as well as this hydrogen, this bulky group as well as this bulky group. That is the reason because of the steric hindrance, this try to move towards staggered form. It is possible at 180-degree rotation. And here you can observe that only the front carbon atom. So that means CH2OH containing group is rotated in a 180-degree rotation. What 180-degree means? What? This CH2OH is coming up, these two group will come down. So that means in a clockwise rotation. That means CH2OH going and standing like this. Then OH will come over and will stand here. H will come over, will stand here. That's what I have written here. Okay. So CH2OH is this. OH is this. H is this. And this will be the staggered form. Okay. This is how one can convert a Fisher projection formula into Sahar's projection formula, and similarly Fisher projection formula can be converted into Newman projection formula. And from these two, always staggered forms will be the more stable compared to the eclipsed form. So that is a rule so that you can remember. And with this, I will take one more example. So instead of hydroxy group, I will take one more. So if I want to take, okay, now.
Sir,
Yes?
in Sahar's form,
Yes.
CHO can be in front and CH2OH can be in back, no sir?
CHO. If you want to write the CHO in front.
Yes, sir.
I think so this is since it is a carbohydrate and a tetroses, and we used to say that D configuration and D configuration with respect to the bottom hydroxy group, and that is the reason I am taking CH2OH as the front carbon atom. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Since it is a carbohydrate chemistry, since it is a deconfiguration, since it is a deconfiguration with respect to the bottom chiral carbon atom. So that is the reason I am taking it as a front carbon atom. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if you want to take it as a CHO as the front carbon atom, you write and you write and write the forms of Sahar's as well as Newman projection formula, and you can send it to me. I will just check that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. So with this, I will go to the next slide. So next is I am taking the uh, yeah. So here you can observe that two things: hydroxy group uh, on the same side and the hydroxy group on the different side. So what it means? Erythros. If hydroxy group is on the same side, erythros. If the hydroxy group on the opposite side is called trios. Again, this is also a tetros. Okay. So more particularly, And here what we are looking, so I think you can consider this as a mirror, and these two are the mirror images, okay, isn't it? So these two are the mirror images and non-superimposable. So non-superimposable mirror images to each other are called enantiomers. So that means these two are enantiomers. And similarly, you can take these two. So here also, these two also mirror images to each other and non-superimposable. Non-superimposable means when you are taking this smiley like this, you can see that this H is coming on the top of the OH. That means it's not superimposable. So that means these two also non-superimposable mirror images to each other. And what we need to account here, so we need to account A. What is A? A is this one. What is C? This one. C is this one. A and C, this one as well as this one, are diastereomers. So similarly, B. So B means this. B, D means this. So B and D are diastereomers. Okay. I think now you know that. So maybe, of course, I will also discuss about the definition of enantiomers and diastereomers. But with example, I explained what are enantiomers and what are diastereomers. Maybe later I will take the definition. Of course, I can also explain here itself. So non-superimposable mirror images to each other are called the enantiomers. Non-superimposable, not the mirror images, are called diastereomers. Okay, only the mirror images, not mirror images. Not mirror images means diastereomers. Mirror images means it's enantiomers. That you need to remember. When you are writing the example, you can take A and C. A and C are the diastereomers, and then similarly B and D are the diastereomers. But if you want to write the example of enantiomers, A and B are the enantiomers. Similarly, C and D are also enantiomers. Okay, I will also take a few more examples. So I will go to the next slide. So next slide will give you the definition. So enantiomer means a chiral molecule which are non-superimposable mirror images to each other. A chiral molecule which are non-superimposable mirror images to each other are called enantiomers. Example, you can write glyceraldehyde. Okay, so if the same question is asked for the more marks, what you can write? You can write the enantiomers of glyceraldehyde, means mirror images that you can hydroxy group on the right. You can write also mirror images, their structure also you can write, so that you will get more marks. Only for the 2 marks you can write a chiral molecule which are non-superimposable mirror images to each other are called enantiomers. Similarly, diastereomers means a chiral molecule which are non-superimposable, not mirror images, not mirror images to each other are called diastereomers. See, for example, 2-chloro, 3-fluorobutanaldehyde. Okay, so that you can give it as a example, and you can also give it as a few more example. I will explain what and all you can give it in a later stage. So with this, I will go to the next slide. Next slide will give you the information about. Okay, I'm taking one more example. So what is the name of this compound? You can observe that. Okay, this will be the 1, this will be the 2, this will be the 3, and this will be the 4. So that means,
2-chloro,
okay,
3
2-chloro, 3-fluorobutanol. Okay, 2-chloro, 3-fluorobutanol is the name of this compound. And for this, enantiomers and diastereomers are mentioned. So what are enantiomers? These two are enantiomers. Of course, these two also enantiomers. And here also you can observe that this something like a mesotartaric acid kind of analogs, and these two are the DL tartaric acid kind of enantiomers. Overall, you can observe that the groups, most electronegative groups are on the same side means meso. Okay, and here the opposite. Again, you can also call it as erythro and trio. If the priorities are on the same side means erythros. If the priorities are on the opposite side, you can call it as a trios. Okay. Of course, these two are enantiomers. These two are enantiomers. But when it comes to A, B, C, D, okay, all these things are enantiomers. But when it comes to A, diastereomers, A and C is the diastereomer, and then B and D will be the diastereomers. Okay, this as well as this is diastereomers. This as well as this is an diastereomers, and all these things are enantiomers. So with
What
this,
about A and D?
A and
D, sir.
D, A and D also diastereomers.
Okay, sir.
A and D also diastereomers. Overall, from you can take these two are enantiomers. Of course, these two are enantiomer, but there is one parameter here. The optical activity gets cancelled because of the again. So that will be R and RS configuration, R and S configuration. R and S is gets cancelled. Optical activity will be 0 because of the plane of plane polarized. You can observe that, of course, these two are different groups. There will not be plane polarized light. So you can compare these two with the meso kind, means erythro. So this with the anyone, it will be a diastereomer only. This with any of these two diastereomer only. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. So with this, I will go to the next slide. So here, similarly, this is the one example, best example. So name of this compound is called tartaric acid. I think you are aware that erythros is nothing but a mesotartaric acid. So mesotartaric acid is having a plane polarized, what is called the plane of symmetry. Because of this plane of symmetry, even though it contains chiral carbon atom, it is optically inactive. So because one chiral optical rotation is cancelled by the other chiral. Okay, because of that, this mesotartaric acid is optically inactive. But when it comes to the enantiomers, these two are enantiomer only. Of course, these two are enantiomers. And here also same thing, A, B, C, A, B and C, D are enantiomer. This as well as this enantiomer. These two also enantiomer. When it comes to the diastereomers, A and C, this and this is diastereomer. This as well as this B and D also diastereomers. Of course, this is the best example. Of course, you can also previous one also you can give it. So this is about how you can more particularly enantiomers and diastereomers compounds having two chiral carbon atoms. So with this, I can go to the next slide. So next slide, here I am taking only one chiral carbon, more particularly the glycerol 8. You can observe that this is the a chiral carbon atom. Of course, this is also a chiral carbon atom. And when you are looking into the mirror, this will be the mirror. You can observe that when you are taking this moiety like this, what will happen? This hydroxy will come over here. So what it means? It means that non-superimposable. Non-superimposable mirror images to each other are said to be enantiomer. This is also a one example of enantiomer. This is in this how you can write enantiomers of glyceraldehyde. Okay, so this is about the enantiomers of glyceraldehyde. So I can also take one more example. So that is this one. Deherithrose. And here 180-degree rotation. So 180-degree rotation is allowed. So when you are rotating this to a 180-degree, you will get another enantiomer. But 90-degree rotation is not allowed. When you are rotating this moiety at 90-degree, you will end up a moiety like this, and this is not allowed. And 180-degree is allowed. You will get another isomer. You can also take it erythrose. Why it is erythrose? Because the hydroxy groups are on the same side. That is the reason it's called erythrose. When you are rotating this to a 180-degree, this hydroxy will come out to the this side, opposite side. And so this you can convert into a flyweight. This is nothing but a flyweight structure only. So here the this group is away from the observer, and this group is towards the observer. This also a towards the observer. This also a towards the observer. This also a towards the observer, and this will be the away from the observer. Overall, what you need to remember, if there is a fly-edged structure, these two groups are towards the observer, and these two groups are away from the observer. That you need to remember. Is it okay? I think maybe I can stop at this stage. Maybe I will continue in the next class. Next class means tomorrow. Tomorrow I will continue. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I think all are present, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I will-
We can leave, sir.
Yes, you can.
Thank you.